Welcome to another video. Today's topic is reasons why narcissists don't love their children. And what a sad topic this is. I have seen this happen time and time again, especially in my high conflict negotiation certification training. We have talked about this many, many times. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Zung. I have been an attorney a long time. I'm also training people all over the world in my high conflict certification program. And it's really, really sad because many times people become narcissistic because they've had narcissistic parents. They go on to marry people and the cycle just goes on and it causes so much pain and so much shame. Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? It can be a cycle that you think, how come, one person can become a narcissist and another person doesn't? One of the books that I highly recommend, in addition to mine, of course, which is Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win, it is actually What Happened to You, which is Oprah Winfrey and Bruce Perry. Bruce Perry is a brain expert, and he talks about the trauma that happens to a person's brain. And I found it so deeply interesting because it's like the physiology, easy for me to say, of what happens to a person's brain and why narcissists are the way that they are. If you can understand why they are the way that they are, then you can understand why they don't have the capacity to love, why they don't have the capacity to have empathy the way that other people do. So maybe if I go back and I explain that to you, then you can understand why they don't necessarily love their children in the same way that other people love their children. So how a narcissist is formed is out of trauma. So when we as human beings are dealing with stressful situations, our brains emit chemicals, neurotransmitters, and it causes us to go into fight or flight. When that happens, our brains then can go into stress, right? And it causes adrenaline and cortisol to be emitted. When that happens as children on a regular and continuous basis, it can actually cause arrested development in that limbic part of the brain. While the prefrontal cortex part of the brain can continue to develop naturally and normally, that limbic part of the brain, the emotional center part of the brain, does not. And so what happens is you're dealing with a person who literally is like a toddler stuck in an adult body. And so when they're presented with situations that cause them to be triggered, then they are back into that limbic brain. That limbic brain becomes activated again. It causes that to take over their entire brain. And so they're no longer being run by the prefrontal thinking part of the brain. They're being run by that emotional center part of the brain now. They could be triggered by anything, feeling like they're going to have a loss of control, that they're slighted. It could be verbal or non-verbal, a body language or a tone or whatever. But when that happens, then they're not thinking clearly. They're unaware of the emotional or collateral damage that they're causing around them to other people, but even to themselves. They're literally going to be willing to take themselves down to take other people down. I remember thinking this as an attorney before I understood what was happening here. I remember thinking, why in the hell would this guy like say, I'll destroy my business just so that, I don't have to pay the wife alimony. But this is what was happening. So now going back to a reason why a narcissist doesn't love their children, what is happening here is if a person is in so much pain and so much shame and so much dealing with all of this all the time because they're just in their own headspace, they don't have the capacity to have empathy for another person because it's all about them. It's all about how can I get attention from myself? How can I suck that energy from other people to get attention for myself? They're literally the ones who need it the most. And so their children are really there to fuel their desperate need for affection, their desperate need for validation. It's like a young child who has a desperate need for love, a young child who has a desperate need for this. And when that young child is not getting that, then they just are looking to manipulate the situation in whatever way that they can to get it. They use their children in the same way that they use everybody else, and that is to manipulate them to derive their need, their insatiable need for validation, for admiration as extensions of themselves rather than unique individuals who are supposed to get unconditional love from their parents, but rather they see their offsprings as tools to bolster their self-image, to bolster their ego, rather than nurturing them with genuine affection, with genuine support. It's got to be conditional. Like, I will give you affection, I will give you support, I will give you attention, but only if you fulfill my emotional needs, right? I will praise you and I will give you attention, but only if it serves my agenda, only if it enhances my reputation, or only if it gives me what I want. It's got to be transactional. It lacks depth for them, it lacks authenticity for them. That's the problem with narcissistic love for their children. And if their children don't return to them what it is that they're looking for, if they're not serving that agenda, if they're not serving that need, if they're not properly doing the things that they are supposed to be doing, then that causes a disturbance in the force. Well, that child might get cut off, or that child may be punished in some way or not spoken to. There's going to be consequences. And so what happens is that child is now feeling the effects of having a narcissistic parent. It causes deep emotional wounds in them, and it causes long-lasting effects on that child's feelings of self-worth, of course. Healing from the effects of the scars of having a narcissistic parent is a journey. It's a journey fraught with challenges and struggle and sadness. But you can heal. And one of the things you have to do, as much difficulty as it may cause you, is you have to create a boundary, even if it is your mom, even if it is your dad, because it is an act of self-care. And that boundary is that boundary that they created, not that you created. How does that look? Well, it might just look like we're going to have a new kind of a relationship. And this kind of a relationship looks like, here's how we talk. We talk like this. You respect me. You respect my relationships. You respect my time. It might just look like that. Or it might look like, here's when we get to see each other, or here's how we speak to each other. The boundary that they created based on their behavior. It's you being compassionate with yourself. You may need to seek compassionate support. You may need to seek support from a community, which is why I created things like my high conflict negotiation certification. If you need free phrases for disarming narcissists, go to my free phrases, disarmthenarc.com. They're totally free. 15 phrases for you for disarming narcissists. Go get them. If you need a free community, go to my free Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. totally free, all kinds of free resources for you, because I want you to be able to reclaim your power. And I want you to be able to start rewriting your narrative. This is for you. I want you to also make sure that you have subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell. And if you like this video, I want you to like it. I want you to share it, because other people are probably dealing with the same thing that you are, that you know, that are in your world. And remember that how they feel is never a reflection about who you are, who your authentic higher self is. Remember, you were born whole. You are one of God's creation, and God does not make mistakes. So how they think about you has nothing to do with who you truly are in the world. And you can turn your pain into power, and you can help people. And helping people is the fastest way to heal. I mean, you are so best served to help the person that you are healing from, or who you used to be. That becomes your mission. That's God tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, listen, I want to use you. I want to use you for this next level of your life. The next video that I want you to watch is the narcissist needs the relationship to break. They've got this sick need to break your relationship, to break you down. I want to explain to you why they need to do that in the next video. So I want you to go check that next video out. But before you go do that, I want you to make sure that you've subscribed here and hit that notification bell. So until next time, my dear friends, remember that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of respect. You are worthy of healing. Thank you for being part of this empowering community. And let's continue to uplift each other. Let's continue to support each other and journey toward that transformation. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'm Rebecca Zung, and I will see you in that next video. Shopify helps millions sell billions around the world through their digital courses, through their digital products, at the touch of a button, on their smartphones, on social media, however they want, including me. At shop.rebeccazung.com, you can access your store from all over the world, just a touch of a button from your smartphones. Start accepting payments. Everything you need to sell online, manage orders, and develop relationships in one place, and look fabulous doing it. Shopify is the commerce platform that is revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide, including my own, at shop.rebeccazung.com. So right now, what you need to do is sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/bestlife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/bestlife to take your retail business to the next level today. Shopify.com/bestlife. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're feeling totally drained right now because energy vampires have got you down, sucked the life out of you, I get it. I've been so where you are. And I can tell you that therapy has been one of the best gifts I've ever given myself during the worst times of my life. It has taught me how to love myself again, so that I can set the boundaries I need to, so that I can feel like myself again. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, I encourage you to give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, it's convenient, it's flexible, you can suit it to your own schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a therapist. And if you want to switch therapists at any time, you can. So find your sweet spot with BetterHelp. You just visit BetterHelp.com/negotiate today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/negotiate.